Welcome to the College of Law Student Leader Training. I'd like to start out by introducing some of the people here in Student Affairs who you'll be interacting with on a regular basis. I think, as you all probably know, I'm Abhijit Taylor. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Engagement. Dean for Student Engagement is Kunal Alsop. Marianne Ferguson is the Director for Diversity Services. And Ireland Walden is our assistant in the front of the suite here in room 308. As a side note, I suppose, Dean Alsop will be retiring in December 31st, I believe is his last day. And then I will be taking over as Assistant Dean for Student Engagement, which means that this is probably the last year that you all will have to do training through me. Sometime in the fall, hopefully, we'll be hiring my replacement. That being said, I think the first and most important thing is that for those of you who were on eBoards previously, there used to be a student leader page and a student orgs page, and those two pages didn't really make much sense since between the two, the student leader page had the majority of the content, and so they've both been collapsed together under the heading of student orgs. And so if you go under current students and student engagement, you'll find a link for the student orgs. I've also included the link in the slide, and I'll also, as we go along in the different modules, I'll have a list of the different links that I use included in a little document under the video. In general, there should be a number of modules that you will go through, and then at the end of all of this, there'll be a little acknowledgement form. It's in the form of a quiz, but all you have to do is read the acknowledgement once you've done all the trainings, and then click true, and then that gives me a way to count you guys so that I can submit a list to the accounting department that you've completed the training, and then that will allow you to use your student bank accounts, or your student org bank accounts, I should say. So you can make deposits and you can get reimbursements from accounting. There are a couple other changes in accounting, but I'll get to those in one of the next modules. I think the third module. A couple of things that I'd like to point out. It would be very helpful for you all if you really familiarize yourselves with the Student Org Handbook, and also keep in mind revisions. There's always a revision date anytime I make changes in the Student Org Handbook, and it's usually at the top right, and I don't foresee that changing in the future. If there are big revisions, I'll typically email you all, but every now and then it wouldn't be bad to double check the version of the PDF that is on the Student Org webpage, just to make sure that you're current. I will say that probably mid-September there will be a few changes, and I'll talk about those in most of the upcoming modules. I'll give you guys a heads up on some of the changes that I see coming. A lot of them haven't been solidified, and so the handbook is still the February version, and as soon as some of those things actually do become written down from other departments, I'll add them into the handbook. But for now, I'll have a conversation though about the changes that you can expect for this semester. In general, I'd like to also point out that re-registration will be in late April, again like it was last year, and so make sure you are letting the next set of eBoard members know about that way in advance. Keep a record, let them know about re-registration. You can point them towards the website. The re-registration button is quite prominent on the Student Orgs page, and so just make sure that they know that they need to re-register in April, and they'll also need their advisor's signature to be able to re-register. We'll go through event procedures, meeting protocols, promotion of your student orgs, and then finances and fundraising are the different modules that we'll have. So other than this one, 4 in total. Finally, I'd just like to say that really my office is a resource for you all if you have questions about policy and procedure or general questions as well. I do stress that a primary resource for you all should be your faculty advisors. I think that because The objective is that you have advisors who are also interested in the particular subject or type of law or just interest area in general. And so they end up being uh, quite a more refined resource for specific events that you'd like to have. They could have contacts out in the community. And so I advise, if you're planning big events, small events, if you're having meetings trying to decide how to lay out your schedule for the semester, that they are a good place to start. Other than that, I hope that this training is informative, and go ahead and review the remainder of these modules really at your leisure, and remind your other eBoard members that they all need to complete it before accounting will open your bank accounts.